Hey guys, today I'm joined by the members of Swedish rock band Pressure, Olof, Simon, and Emil. Thank you guys so much for being here today. How's it going?
Oh, it's
Well,
nice.
Yeah,
fine, thank you. Nice to be here.
thank you. Okay, so firstly, tell me a bit about the band. How did you guys all meet and how did Pressure come together? So
Well,
anyone?
uh, sorry to interrupt you. You had one more question?
Oh, no, that's all good. Go ahead.
Yeah, all right. I think actually Simon and Emil should start that because Pressure started with them before it was Pressure. So Emil and Simon met first, and I'm gonna let them have that.
So what
Yeah,
you say? Should I or you begin?
you can begin, Emil.
Yeah, I can start because I played a saxophone in the beginning, and I tried. Well, this guitar thing it's fun, and I started playing by myself, and then I had met the colleague of mine. Well, I have this really cool guitar teacher. You really should go and see him. So I did, and Simon was I was his student for a while, half a year, I think.
Yeah.
And then he told me, Emil, I have this barbecue I think you should go to, which I hold every year. It's really great. So I went there and we got friends, more or less. And then I think it was not many weeks after that, Simon called me and said, Emil, you need to start playing out in a band. No, I need to get a lot better on the guitar first. No. I have a gig in 2 weeks, and our bass player cannot attend. Can you do it instead? Uh, I never hold the bass. It's easy. You can play the guitar. So we sat home at home and practiced. I think it was 60 songs,
Mhm.
and we went. And from there, I started playing guitar in his band, in the same band instead. So, and there we went on from there. So, Simon, your
Yeah,
turn.
and we started out as like we were a touring cover party band, an act who played a lot of like small venues, club bars, and yeah, all of these kind of birthdays, weddings, and did that for a couple of years. Actually, we started out in 2008.
Mhm.
And after that, we played all over Sweden, actually, from the southern part and up to the northern part. And but in 2018, we started to experiment. We got a bit tired of the cover act, actually.
Yeah.
Doing everything, all the same songs. It's like, yeah, you have a set list of 60 to 100 songs, but it's the same songs over and over again. And if you do that like 2 times a week, a month, and it's, yeah, it can get boring, actually.
Yeah.
So we started doing variations of the songs. We recorded and made more heavy metal versions of pop songs, actually. So it was everything from Chandelier to Icona Pop. Yeah, many songs, actually. But we 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 lacked some elements, and we actually noticed that we got the best response um, from the song that was furthest away from the original. So
Mhm.
we started to think like, okay, what? Perhaps we don't need the original song anymore. So we started writing our own material, but we needed a new frontman, a new strong leader of the pack, and we searched for that for a couple of years. Actually, we tried different combinations and different singers, but in 2018 we found Olof,
Mhm.
and his power voice knocked us over. And okay, yeah, we need this. So that was a short background of the band, actually.
Okay.
He was a really nice guy too.
Yeah.
It
In
helped.
the beginning, it was a bit hard to understand him because he has this Scanian dialect. But well, we have practice, so now we understand him. And I can tell you this, that in the beginning he tried to sing without his own dialect,
Mm-hmm.
and we lost a bit of personality there. So we started, oh, but you should sing as you speak. So
Yeah, actually, I didn't try to sing without my dialect. That was the way I was taught to sing. Normally, when you're in Sweden and you have different dialects, you get taught to sing in the Stockholm dialect always. But yeah, when we started experimenting to sing as I talk, and that was much better, actually.
Okay, yeah. Well, it seems to have gone great so far. You guys seem to be doing really well as the three of you. So you all made it together and you really seem to be doing something. So congratulations.
Thank you.
So who actually came up with the name Pressure in the first place, and what's the significance behind that word?
Well, it's actually almost all of our songs is about different kinds of pressure. Mm-hmm. Maybe from society, from your loved ones, from your employer, or you always feel different kinds of pressure. Mm-hmm. And the pressure could be good and could be bad. So sometimes, do you feel the pressure? That's a good one. Or it's too much pressure. I can't handle it anymore. And most of the songs, you can interpret them in a good way or a bad way. It's up to you to interpret the song. And we put a lot of work and effort to make the lyrics and the songs in that way. So it's not, all right, it's exactly about this thing. You should be able to interpret it into different kinds of pressures.
Mm-hmm. So who was it that originally came up with that name, though? Was there anyone in particular, or was it just sort of something that came about naturally?
I think it came about naturally. We tried different names inside ourselves, and we, what do we think about this, and what do we think about that, and then I think I don't remember who actually came up with Pressure. Do you guys?
Me neither. But when it popped up, I think we were quite, yeah, this is it.
Exactly. We have already written a couple of songs then, and we tried to get a name that like mirrored the feelings in the songs, and well, it was all about pressures. And okay, yeah, pressure. I think it was actually quite a brainstorming effort to get it there.
Okay, no worries. So I know your style of music of melodic rock is really popular in Sweden, but which artists would you credit for inspiring your sound?
Oh, there's a lot of them. For me, there's Sabaton for one, and then Simon. Since Simon is the one that always make the first written versions of the songs with the lyrics and with the music, and then he passes it on to me, so I can change a little bit of the lyrics if I want to, and then I pass it back to Simon, and then Emil comes in and tell us, no, I think you should change a little bit of this. So I think I should pass it over to Simon because he's the original lyrics and the songwriter in the band, and then we try to perfect his material.
Brains of the operation.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we often do that, and yeah, I write most of the basic ideas, melodies, riffs, and that kind of things. But actually, we talk a lot about the topics in the band. We identify different kinds of pressures and situations that we want to talk about. I mean, one of the things that I think differentiates us from other like heavy metal bands and rock bands is that I think that many rock bands today are having a bit of a simple goal towards their lyrics. They are very simple lyrics, very they are not saying so much. And we are, I mean, we have a long back and forth process for the lyrics. We have starting lyrics, and we have pronunciations, we have interpretations, we have I mean, when we record our when we record, we usually do one start version, then we go home, listen to it, and then no, this wasn't good, this was good, this wasn't good, and we go back and forth and back and forth, and we are not having the final version of the songs for like 6 or 7 recording sessions. So we do the song over and over and over again. So we have such many versions of the same song. And if we listen back to the first version, like, oh, yeah, was this the idea from the beginning? Well, I don't know. So that's it. So it's kind of hard to say what we get inspired from other musicians and bands, because there's a lot of them. Actually, we are not a sound-alike band. We get a small portion of inspiration from like 100 sources. We love other musicians, and we are not hardcore fan of one or two. We are fans of the music style. We can enjoy a riff there, a solo there, a vocal performance there, a bass line there, a blistering drum solo there. Yeah, we try to listen to the spirit, to the soul of the heavy metal rock music. So I have a hard time to say that, oh yeah, we are inspired by Sabaton or Guns N' Roses or whatever. I say that we are inspired by talented musicians, and it could be from every genre, it could be from every style. It's the passionate ones that we are really inspired from.
Yeah, that's great to hear. So in terms of your individual origins in the industry, how did you initially come to the decision that this was the career each of you wanted to pursue? So Emil, I know you talked about how you were starting guitar lessons, but what actually got you into music to begin with?
Well, it was my father. He's played music, not professionally, but he played classical music when I was brought up, piano and clarinet. Mm-hmm. Myself, I started very late to play music. I think it was in, let's say, I was 16, I think, when I bought my first saxophone. And then later on, when I went to university, I started in a band there and played and started improvising and made that for many years. And when I started working, because I have a regular job as well, when I moved out, you really can't practice saxophone in an apartment. It's impossible. You can play, but you can't practice. Mm-hmm. So then I turned over to the guitar. And in the beginning, playing with Simon, it was just for fun. Mm-hmm. But now we'll see how it goes with pressure. So it's really starting to turn around, so to speak. But I really like to have this place to go to let loose and, you know, steam off. And I really, really enjoy it.
Okay, Simon, what about yourself? How do you find your start in the industry?
Yeah, I've been playing since I was a kind of little child. I think I started to play as I was 6, something like that. So music for me has always been around. I played, and I through all, and I've it's the heart and soul of my life, actually. I mean, so it's always been with me. I grew up and my parents were playing music. My father were brass musicians, so he played like the trumpet and bassoon and things like that. So I actually played a bit of a trombone, a bit. But yeah, and so I went on, studied music, and I played in a lot of bands. I have taught guitars for many years, and it's I live with my music. It's my way of life.
Yeah, that's great to hear. And Olof, what about yourself? How did you get started in the industry?
If we should take it from the real start, I also started playing the trumpet when I was, I think, 7 or 8 years old, and got pretty okay with that, pretty good. I played the trumpet, I think, for 8 or 10 years, something like that, and then I got bored with it because I didn't like the music I played. If I want to advance, it was so technical that I didn't like what I was playing. And I think I was the age of 16. So there was a little bit other things in life that was interesting. Girls was one of them, maybe, and a lot of other things. And so I stopped playing and head on with my work. I'm a baker as a profession, and got 100% into that. And but one day in the bakery, I was talking with my coworker, and he said it would be really nice to be able to play guitar. And I said, yeah, actually, it could be nice. And I think I was 25 years old. So the same day I went away to bought an acoustic guitar and a chords book. This was before the internet era, so you read everything in a book. And I started playing the guitar, and I realized pretty quick that I will suck at playing guitar. I will probably be able to do a few chords or so, but I will never be a lead guitarist. So I thought, maybe I should sing and play guitar, because if I go to a little party, a barbecue, something, I could take my guitar, I could sing pretty okay, hopefully, and then I can just play the guitar to get a little bit music there. So then I started singing and playing guitar, and I did that for a few years. And after a while, I thought it would be nice to play in a band. So I found a band, and it was a cover band. We went away to a few weddings, birthday parties, and so on. And after a while, I got to be a father. And while both of my children were really young, I quit the band because I thought it was not the perfect situation for anybody. But when they went a little bit older, my wife told me, all right, it's time for you to go out and find a new band, because I can see it in you. You need a new band. So then I found a few new bands, didn't really find one that was 100%. And then I found the advertise from these guys. And my first thing was, we're going out to play covers. And I was okay with that, because I hadn't played that much covers that I was bored with it yet. So I went there, and they told me all of their plans. And when I came home to my wife, she told me, how did it go? And I said, I have actually no idea. This could be the best thing that ever happened to me, or it will be a total chaos thing. But if I don't try it, I will never know. So I will go in there and do my thing 100%, as I always do when I do something. I never go in 30%. I go in 100%, and if I don't like it, I pull the plug and I go somewhere else. Then the idea grew with me when we started to write our own music, because suddenly I didn't have to try to sound like somebody else. I had to find my own voice, my own sound and everything. And once you started with that, it's really hard to go back. to try to sound like somebody else. Then you want to sound like yourself. So I have never, as a child, I was not going to be a musician. I was going to be a baker. But now in the older days, it changed. Now I'm into the music, really 100%.
Okay. So you guys have been together for about 2.5 years as Pressure and releasing your own songs.
Yeah.
You've released 3 original singles, with your most recent, The Shadow, being released in English alongside the Swedish version. What was the idea behind releasing the song in both languages?
The idea is actually 2 things. We put a lot of effort with the lyrics to make it interpretable in both ways. And then we thought, if we put this much work with the lyrics, why should only 10 million people be able to understand what it's about? Mm-hmm. The English crowd is a lot bigger. And we also saw that there was a lot of interest from US of the music. When we do the statistics, we saw that Sweden is very little. There are not that many people in Sweden yet that have found us, but there's a lot of them in the US. So why not do it in both languages so they know what we are singing about? And then they don't have to listen to the English version. Some of the songs, I think, will be better in English, and some of them will be better in Swedish. But if you know what we're singing about, you can listen to the Swedish version because you know what it's about. Mm-hmm. And you can still appreciate the Swedish version more, or sometimes the English version. So that's I think that's about it. What do you guys think? Have I missed anything?
No, I agree.
And this actually is the approach we will continue with. The next single and the album will be English and Swedish alongside. So we are releasing one more single before our album is coming out, and it will also be in Swedish and English. And then the album will be the Swedish songs first, and then the English, the same songs. Almost the same songs in English afterwards. So it will be a combined album, actually.
Well, you kind of answered my next question. But obviously the coronavirus has had a massive impact on the music industry. So how have you guys been coping as a band? So you just mentioned you've obviously been working on some new music. But how else has it been during this time to be in a band and try and progress your music career?
Do you mean with a corona all around, or any specific other things?
So largely the coronavirus, how has that impacted on the band?
First of all, it's impacted that we're not out and doing live gigs. But for us, it hasn't been a really big problem since we've been focusing so much to record our singles and the album. So for us, if Corona had to be there, this was not a good time, but yes, it didn't impact us that much. Of course, we want to be out there and show our music live, and we hope we will be able to do that sometime before Christmas, hopefully.
Yeah, and I mean we have tried to, I mean, we have kept much in contact. We have done a lot of rehearsal time by our own, and sending recordings back and forth instead of seeing each other all the time. And we have, I mean, we have a good rehearsal space, so we can have a good social distancing between us guys also. So we try to think about all the rules that are out there in society, but still try to keep the writing coming, so we can plan for and do the things in between. But yeah, it's been tough. I mean, there has been no live shows, and especially we have seen a lot of small venues, small clubs, small things in Sweden are having really a hard time because they have no shows to book, no possibilities between. We have this restriction now where there is only allowed 50 persons in a crowd. So there's impossible to book a live gig. There is no live gigs, and the venues are closing down. So we'll have to see how the venues and how the market and things are when after everything is done. I think it will be a new world for us musicians out there.
Yeah, definitely. We'll have to see how things go, but hopefully things sort of pick up sometime soon and we can really get back to all those live gigs and have an interactive music experience. But lastly, where do you hope this band takes you all, or what would you like to see come of it in the next 5 or so years? So is there somewhere you'd love to perform or someone you'd love to collaborate with, or what do you see happening with the band within the next couple of years?
Well, Simon, I think you should answer this one.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for that. I mean, the main thing for us, I mean, there's, as I said before, there's so many talented, cool musicians and bands out there who love to do collaborations with a lot of them and play. So no one mentioned, no one forgotten, but the main focus for us is actually to break through the through all the noise floor in the business. There's a lot of music released and a lot of good music released, and we try to get noticed. We try to get our message out there. So I hope that in a few years people have heard us and start talking about us and listen to our lyrics and react. And I'm for sure I don't care if they hate it or love it. I just want they to notice and to get a reaction, because that's one of the main themes for Pressure. It's you can interpret it in any way you want. But I would like to, in a couple of years, to be able to go out there, play with other good bands, musicians, do festivals, do live shows, and write more songs that really moves and touches people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so
Sweden rock, right, Simon?
Yeah, we do that. We can do the walk-in as well. So.
Well, hopefully we do hear more of you guys and you do become more of a household name and familiar to a lot of people who appreciate this genre of music. But thank you guys so much for your time today. It's been great chatting, and I really can't wait to see what you guys do next in your new album that you're bringing out. And to everyone watching, be sure to check out the full article on listenloudblog.com, and we'll see you next time. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.